a store that makes $250,000 per month on Etsy. Let's jump in, analyze it, see what we can learn, and see some of the outliers that we should not copy. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Dave. Definitely subscribe if you're new here. Shout out to everybody grabbing the free coaching calls in the description below to find out if we're a fit to work together in my coaching program. So let's jump into my computer. I found this store here using the shop analyzer tool with Everbee, link in the description if you want to try out the tool. It's what I've been using throughout all the years of being an Etsy seller, being an Etsy coach, and analyzing listings. Definitely check out Everbee. But Nurse in the Making, that's the name of the store. If you like the store, go ahead and support it. There's a few things that I want to note here with you. The first thing is its estimated total revenue is around $11 million, and its monthly revenue is estimated at $336,000. Now, I said $250,000 in the intro because the numbers can be give or take, but that's still an amazing amount of money. Definitely for a yearly income, but for a monthly income is even more eye-opening. So what makes the store different? I would say that number one, it's been around for 6 years, so it's not like it's an overnight success. But 6 years to reach over $250,000 a month, that is, in the grand scheme of things, damn near a overnight success. Right. So the biggest eye opener that I seen was the fact that it has 34 listings. That's wild to me because typically all the stores you see on these leaderboard rankings are going to have over 1,000 listings. Typically it is a quantity thing. I don't know if you remember this store, Bohemian Findings. They got taken off a few years back for repeated trademark infringements. However, from what I understand, allegedly, I'm not completely sure. However, it was a store with thousands and thousands of listings. And if you go and look on eRank or with Everbee, you'll see most of these mega stores have thousands of listings. So naturally, everybody says it's quantity but it's quantity is a big thing. And I even teach people, 200 listings should be a milestone. And that's, give or take. And in most circumstances, there's always extenuating circumstances. I say 200 listings if you're in a competitive niche and you're not reinventing the wheel. But if you're early to something, which I think this store was, if you're early to something or you invented something or you make something extremely unique, that 200 listing rule doesn't necessarily apply. But that's what I think this store essentially did. They made a complete nursing bundle for nurses in nursing school. And it's not like the title is anything crazy. It's just a nursing school bundle. And it's like a title for a standalone website. So the tags for the listing likely got it ranked and got search, but it's just interesting that they had to have been one of the first to create something like this. And the next thing I want to point out, not necessarily a lesson for the last point, having 34 listings, but it's something interesting to know. I guess I'll try to get back to it. But the thing I wanted to mention was if you wanted to try to replicate this success in digital downloads or something to that degree, keep this in mind. It's a in-demand and growing occupation. So anybody in nursing school would really enjoy this. That's who the target audience is. And they would really like to use this as a study guide, as a cheat sheet, whatever it may be. I'm sure these graphics and this layout and template, or not template, but format is probably a lot more helpful than medical textbooks, or at least facilitates learning more than a dry medical textbook would. I'm not completely sure. I've never literally opened up a medical textbook, but textbooks in general can be pretty boring. So this probably is a great supplemental tool for a growing occupation. So that's what I wanted to mention, is that if you wanted to replicate it, maybe you could take something, maybe you could make a digital product for a growing occupation that requires a lot of studying, or at the very least, a in demand or a demanding test or something. Maybe you don't have the occupation doesn't require a lot of schooling, but maybe it requires a tough test. I'm sure this has been replicated before, but without doing my own research, I would immediately think bar exam bundles like this. Well, this isn't. You could make it a digital product, or you can actually print it. Make a physical product like they're doing. But a bar exam study guide like this, or any type of trade that requires some type of exam that would help people study, things like that. And I just thought of this, but I would be willing to bet they have a pretty good social media following. That's often the case when you see some of these mega stores with low amount of listings. Not always the case, don't get me wrong, but it can be the case. Okay, so we do have a face to the brand. There is a woman here. There is a story here. And the Instagram has 1 million followers. So it's not an all Etsy thing. It's a bigger platform. It's a Instagram. I'm sure they have TikTok as well. Maybe Facebook, over 500,000 followers. So it's more of like it's more of an educational platform, and this is kind of the product that you buy once you really follow the page a lot. So that definitely contributes to it. And it goes to show that when you see some of these mega stores, you don't know what's going on behind the scenes. This is the most extreme example, I will say. The most extreme example, because oftentimes I'll see, 10, 20, 30K followers on a platform and say, okay, that's definitely contributing if I don't see a standalone website. But in this instance, she literally has 1 million followers. Maybe some of you watching even knew about her beforehand, and I look like kind of silly for not knowing about the page. I'm not a nurse. I'm not going to be a nurse. So of course I wouldn't know, but she does have her own standalone website. She does have a Pinterest, and that has a great amount of followers. And she has 1.7 million followers on TikTok. So she's a massive influencer, a massive educational platform for nurses, and nursing is a growing occupation. So this would be a great, if anybody wants to start a second store and you are good at a trade and you are passionate about a trade, then obviously educate people on that trade and replicate this format where you educate people in short form content and you sell like crazy a book that helps you study for the exam. It could be a bar exam. It could be even, I was going to say this earlier, but I just remembered to say it, is that it has to be an occupation that is mostly women. I would say, if for Etsy specifically, because I doubt an electrician is going to come to Etsy to look for a cute study guide, okay, or a plumber or a mechanic or something. They're not going to come to Etsy to look for a cute study guide to pass their electrician exam or whatever it may be. So I would keep that in mind as well. If you would like to build your own store and you don't want to have the hassle of building it yourself, I'd highly recommend checking out Everbee's store. You can have AI build a standalone website for you. You can import all your Etsy listings as well, so it makes it extremely easy. Highly recommend checking it out. The link is in the description, and I hope you support the channel as well as support Everbee, because I've been using Everbee for years, even before I was an affiliate of it. So definitely check it out. The link's in the description. So moving on to this product here, she has a lot of different products, big products, small products. She has a good price range, but only 34 listings. I would say the social media following kind of catapulted the Etsy momentum, which is why, you don't see crazy SEO titles. So there's a lot of things moving when you see a store that's very successful. So don't try to replicate everything blindly, especially if you've seen this and you're like, oh, they're being successful, I'm going to start using like super short, simple titles. That wouldn't get you anywhere, because she has outside traffic, and she was likely one of the first or kind of early to making these books and putting them on Etsy. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Definitely book a free coaching call with me in the description below. We'll see how we can work together. I'll help you grow your sales. Tons of students have had amazing success. I even have case studies here on this channel, and I hope to see you in a free call soon, and I hope you have a beautiful day.